Andre.
Ryan.
Today is a joyous day. Today, not only is today Friday, but today our Lord and Savior, our thick King, returns
He's
to the
back,
court.
baby. He's back. Let's go. Love to see it, Ryan.
So far this year, we have had to go 1.5 games without Nikola Jokic, which is more than I can ever remember in my life. And I don't ever want to go back to a time where I don't get to see Nikola Jokic play every other day.
He's such a hoss, man. What we don't talk about is how durable he is. And I mean, I've long thought that his thickness provides a little extra durability, aside from insulation for the winter.
It does. He is one of a kind, Dre. One of a kind.
He really is.
And he returns tonight, and I can't wait to bet on it.
Yeah.
Also, how'd you do last night? How'd you do last night?
Ryan, on the razor's edge, 2-1. Felt like I got robbed of 3-0 because Lamar needed two passing yards to finish that thing off, and all he was doing was passing at the end of the game. Very close. The graphic of the game itself in air showed 241 passing yards at some point, breaking my heart, giving me false hope. Then went back to 238. The line was 239.5. So right there. And then Devontae Freeman, that's the right running back.
Yes.
He gets me 10 rushing attempts, but the Ravens fall back so much. He had like 7 super early. They have to kind of abandon it. I give out the money at the number at 9.5. But, by the time we're doing the show, after the mid-show read, the line had jumped to 10.5. He ends with 10. So it counts as a win because when we gave it out, it was still 9.5, and we gave it out at 9.5. Right on the razor's edge. It was 3-0. In some ways, it almost felt like 1-2, though.
Yeah. I went 1-2 myself.
Ryan.
And I'm trying to remember what my picks were. Oh, Marquise Brown, they just blanketed him the whole night.
Yeah.
They kept everything underneath, which is the smart way to play the Ravens. And then the other loss I had was the over in that Pitt UNC game, which was a hopeful over, just because I really wanted to see this a bunch of points scored. The problem is we go to overtime, and over better's dream. It literally has the word over in the term.
Actually correct.
And then the heavens opened. And when I say the heavens opened, I mean it looked like someone took a fire hose and aimed it directly at UNC's offense in the overtime period. The ball gets way too slick. Sam Howell can't do anything. And the game ends tragically because it would have just needed one more overtime. So if it would have gone to double overtime, and we could have gotten through that over. So I guess triple overtime would have been a guaranteed over.
All you needed was triple overtime for that to hit. But great call on the Avs 60-minute. Boy, was that lovely to watch.
The big dog out. It's something that you can actually bet on. It's very counterintuitive. You get a little extra value, but a lot of times when teams lose their star, they've got one really good one in them. It's not a sustainable thing over a long period of time, usually that first game, just like new coach games.
It's true. Bill Simmons calls it the Ewing theory, which, of course, stems from the Knicks making a finals run in 98, right when Patrick Ewing gets hurt. Allen Houston, Spreewell.
Forsberg, of course,
right?
Injured during the Avs Cup run.
Peyton a little bit,
Yeah, exactly. There's always a little something. Yeah, it says the 60-minute line, no sweat. Yeah, Avs up 3-0, like before the puck even hit the ice.
It was done. Yeah, no, that first power play, like with 18 minutes in the first, we were off and running. It's great stuff.
All right, let's jump into today's picks, of which I feel fantastic about. So I'll go first.
Do you? All right, let's see.
Yeah, I really do. Now, of course, we're going Jokic over 24.5 points. And just so I don't forget, it is First Bucket Friday, where you can get a boost on any player to score the first bucket. It's going to be Jokic. It is going to be Jokic. Don't overthink this. He comes off suspension. They give him the rock. He shoots a little mid-range jumper. Bang, bang, bang. And you make, 6 units.
Doesn't that number almost seem too good to be true, Ryan, for a superstar that's averaging 25 points per game right now?
It does. They're worried about a hangover.
Okay.
He was watching the game the other night with some red wine.
Some red wine, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Nuggets money line minus 165. In normal circumstances, I would be weary of the Nuggets versus Trae Young. And if we're being fully transparent here, I am a little bit weary of the Nuggets versus Trae Young.
Nice.
He does the one thing that they really struggle with, which is guard penetration. If there's a guard who can just kind of get in there at will. But I will say this, Jokic developing into one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. And I just don't think Jokic lets them lose tonight. Just don't think so. I think he comes out there. He says, sorry, I was gone, guys. That's my B. Let me carry us to the promised
land. Okay. Lots to unpack on these.
Finally, Javonte Williams over 47.5 rushing yards.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Now, the Broncos just announced that Mike Shula will be the offensive coordinator on Sunday not because Pat Shurmur got fired, as many people were expecting at some point, because he has COVID. So it's expected that Mike Shula will call the plays for the Broncos, which not exactly the best thing for running the ball because he's, of course, the quarterback's coach. But he's also a former head coach. And so I think that changes his perspective on things a little bit. I think he knows that this team, their path to victory is on the ground. And Javonte is just what a joy to watch. There's only been so he's currently at 37% broken tackle rate. Trey, did you know there's only been 2 running backs in history to have a season over 30%?
No. Who are they?
Derrick Henry and Marshawn Lynch.
Wow. That's outstanding. That's really phenomenal. One of these days on the Broncos pod, you guys should break down how many running backs would you rank ahead in a dynasty format of Javonte Williams.
Wow. I like that. I like that a lot.
He's on the top 5 doorstep, I think.
That's awesome.
Ryan, I don't know that I love your Nuggets picks. I don't know that I love your Nuggets picks. I think this is a double Jokic night. And I think suddenly after the last 2 nights, there is just an abundance of trust with Jokic and his teammates. I think they've passed a trust juncture. Also, it doesn't help that probably the guy that irritates Jokic the most on the team, MPJ, is not going to be on the court, I think. Also, Trae Young, Ryan, you don't need to worry about him. He's trash now, like all these guards that were hunting trash fouls. He is trash. He no longer can get fouls. And Ryan, the Nuggets are a great defensive team now because they can hand check people.
So what don't you like about my picks?
Well, the Jokic, the thinking's incorrect, and you said you were scared about Trae Young, so it's your logic that I argue.
Nuggets money line.
It's your logic I'm arguing with, not your pick itself. It turns out, it is a double Jokic night, though. They have to double. Gorgie Dieng and Clint from Switzerland. You're gonna single them up?
I think they're gonna single them up with Clint from Switzerland.
Oh my God, Swiss Clint. Okay, fine. It's why I'm staying away from Nuggets picks because I just don't have a feel. Though I look forward to getting into an SGP because yes, Bones, Barton, as Mike Trout points out, and Jokic numbers even.
Well, I only trust one person, so
can be SGP'd. Well, I thought you were a Bones believer as well.
I am the Bones believer. I'm the first person to believe in Bones.
I don't know if you can claim that,
but I can. And just because I believe in him doesn't mean I trust him yet.
Interesting. Also,
it's also not that I don't trust him. It's that I have no reason to trust him. I only need to trust one person in my life. Meaning, it's not that he hasn't given me reason to trust him. I only need to trust Nikola Jokic. He never lets me down.
I mean, that is without a doubt. So hopefully you won't make any stupid additional picks on top of Jokic, though I will be pushing for lots of bones.
And I also love Will Barton.
Thrill. Yeah.
But
big thrill guy.
I don't know. My heart can only love so much, and I'm giving a lot of that to Jokic.
I'm going through a big AG phase as well.
Oh, not me.
Oh, kind of a PJ believer too.
I have this huge problem with basketball players. If I don't think your jump shot is going in when it leaves your hand, I just can't love you.
Yeah, his jumper isn't wet. He's not that kind of guy.
I know. So that's just where I am. Same thing with PJ, who also actually has been getting buckets this year. I'm getting there with him. But like Andre Miller, I could never love him properly because I just didn't trust his jumper.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? My favorite basketball player of all time. Yeah, and see, I love guys like Jason Kidd and the professor, Dre Miller. I couldn't care less about a wet jumper. I like guys who know how to take that extra dribble on a pick and roll to then slam that bounce pass in, baby.
You're going to love some Bones Highland.
My. I'm all in on some Bones assist props. In fact, also, Ryan, as an aside, before we go to my big three of the day, I am particularly tickled that an audio-only listener to this show, when we reference Mike Trout, of course, is our guy Z in the comments. They must be like, what are they talking about? How did Mike Trout just get thrown into that conversation? Well, try to keep up, baby. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Speaking of Mike Trout, he says, RK was the high school kid that only shot corner threes. Very close. I have notably never attempted a 2-point shot in my life. Yeah. Makes no sense, but not just the corner. I actually don't prefer the corner. I prefer the wing.
Big wing shooting guy. Yeah.
Why would you ever attempt something with lower expectations? I just don't understand. Set high expectations for yourself. Setting a 2-point expectation on a shot is just, you're underselling yourself.
Not if you go down low and bang with the trees, you know. That's what I aspired to do.
Bro, my effective field goal percentage was off the charts. That's all I'm saying.
It's really true that, philosophically speaking, we might not be more different on a basketball court. That's really where we diverge more than in any other walk of life. Let's do it. Let's finally go to my big three.
All right, let's do it.
I swear this is the one. All right, Texas A&M -2.5. The more I talk myself into this, the more I love it. I think they'll absolutely bludgeon Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. You know, he's a fraud. Jimbo instead is making like $100 million a season. You do the math. Also, they're just more talented. They've figured things out, so it's fine.
It's follow the money college football pick.
Right.
I follow the money. I mean, go to the
college contracts.
Paid more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which actually kind of jives with it, right, Ryan? If we were to look at the programs raking in the most cash, we probably would have it probably wouldn't look all that different from the college football standings the last several years. And then El Gato, Alex the Brincat. My guys just aren't missing. I give out El Gato, El Perro, El Gato again. They just hit. Alex the Brincat, phenomenal forward for the Chicago Blackhawks. He's hit this 9-5 this year. It's just he's just on a roll. He's feeling it. They take on the Coyotes, so this is basically automatic money. The lowly Arizona hockey team is going to get blown out. El Gato will have many opportunities. And Mike White, I just cannot quit him. Really, this prop should be, can Mike White play all 4 quarters? Because if it's if that's a yes, then I would take this over 337.5. But he's known to get injured and miss some time from time to time. But I think 3 times is a charm with Mike White, Ryan. And this will be the game where he finally plays all 4 quarters. He's taken on the Bills. We're going to find out a lot about the Bills in this one. Particularly, are they frauds? Which it might be trending that way. And Mike White will get a lot of empty calories, a lot of garbage time passing yards, and this will go over. So there you go.
You want to know a crazy thing about the NFL? Every team is a fraud.
Anytime.
Every single team is a fraud.
It's the most fraudulent season ever, and it kind of doesn't matter. The season's restarting, Ryan. It's like a different season. There's so many injuries. These teams are just different from what they were coming into the preseason. Spent 5 months previewing the season. Where's my 5-month preview of Week 10, though, huh, Ryan?
No one's talking about that.
No one's talking about it.
In their preview, no one's talking about the Adrian Peterson Titans and the OBJ Rams.
That's exactly right. Or the Trevor Siemian Saints.
You want to know what's messed up, though?
What's messed up?
There's one team that secretly isn't a fraud, and it's just not as exciting to talk about them, so no one does. It's the Buccaneers.
I know. It's the Buccaneers.
Tom is going to waltz his way to another Super Bowl. No, it's not going to ever really – no one's going to make that much of it. He might win MVP on his way there, and no one talks about the Bucs right now because it's so boring to talk about the potential of Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl.
100%. And also, they won't have an exciting game till like mid-December.
Nope.
They're just going to waltz through the football team, the Giants, the Colts, the Falcons. Then they'll finally play the Bills and we'll pay attention. Then we'll all sleep on them for another month. They'll get a bye in the playoffs. We'll only pay attention to the Cardinals game. And then it's like, 2 weeks of like, holy shit, how's Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again? Like, yeah.
Right. Yep. It's the NFL's dirty little secret right now.
It's really
There's only one team that's not fraudulent, and they're the defending champs.
Might be the Cards.
The Cards aren't fraudulent?
Cards might not be fraudulent, right?
I love that you're saying this. I want to say it too. I mean, they haven't given us any reason to believe it yet. So I can still keep up the facade that they aren't fraudulent. Here's the problem. And I'm thinking this on a grander scale.
Yeah.
There's just no way that they can beat Tom Brady in a playoff game.
100%. I mean, just look at the matchup on the sideline. Cliff against Bruce Arians, Vance Joseph against Todd Bowles. I mean, the stench of that coaching staff is just not gonna survive a matchup like that.
I mean, I resent any comments negatively about Cliff Kingsbury and company. But what I will say is it has nothing to do with that to me. It's about experience. You're asking a bunch of guys who have never been there before to go up against the guys who literally won it last year and have the guy who's been there the most.
That's exactly right.
It's not how it usually works in football. Look at Super Bowl 48 versus Super Bowl 50. 48, you've got the Broncos. They're not quite ready to be there yet, et cetera, et cetera. Then you go to Super Bowl 50. The Broncos are ready to be there. The Panthers are the upstart 15-1, exciting, young, fresh team. They get shit stomped.
So true. And a technical term that you'll find in the AP guidebook, actually.
Style book.
Style book. Shouts to those guys.
Also, shouts to DraftKings Sportsbook.
Let's go.
Double-fisted number ones.
Yes.
We appreciate DraftKings Sportsbook deeply.
Profoundly.
I mean, the amount of joy I get from betting on random football that's on my television in the middle of the week is unbelievable. It's something that I don't know. I don't know what my purpose in life would be if I couldn't just bet on football during weekday evenings. Or I just wouldn't. What do other people do on weekday evenings? Watch television shows that are predetermined?
Some people also bet on like basketball and hockey.
That's true. I also do that.
Maybe baseball, when that's in season.
No one does that except Pete Rose.
Soccer midday, me and my guy Austin, we've been known to do that. Yahir might be betting on Mexico USA tonight.
Mexico. Yes.
People have other hobbies. They gamble on other sports as well.
We've got a show divided today. I didn't even realize that.
Oh man, I thought Yahir supported the growth of the sport in the U.S. though.
He does. He does support the U.S. Yeah, here you want to hop on for a quick sec? What you go? You lean Mexico in these games, right?
I was born and raised a Mexico fan. Mexico was my first love as a team. Yeah. I'm growing up and watch Jared Borghetti head in every goal he ever got near. So
we understand. We fully understand.
But I do love the U.S. as well. It's just if the U.S. isn't playing Mexico, I always root for them. I love Pepe.
There was a whole article that came out on ESPN today. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but like about the dilemma of Mexican Americans and which side to take.
You have a couple years ago, you had Jonathan Dos Santos was playing in Monterrey. He had a chance to play with the U.S. team in Mexico. He chose Mexico. You have Pepe. Pepe chose U.S. over Mexico. Araujo chose. Like, there's just so many things. A lot of these kids that are being born that are from like kind of like me,
good one,
like Mexican ancestry, but you're born and raised in the U.S. all your life. So it comes down to a lot of like what family influenced you the most, and kind of like what opportunity you have the most too. In Mexico right now, you're not having a lot of opportunity as a young kid. So a lot of times these kids choose to go to the U.S. that develop a little better, and you go to Europe and they give you a little bit more opportunity.
That's incredible insight.
We love that.
I will be betting on the U.S. tonight.
Pepe to score in a draw. That's what I got today.
Oh, there you
go. Pepe to score in a draw.
Give me a Dos a 0 all day.
Oh, yeah, we can do Mexico 2-0 any day.
Bet. Oh, yeah, get out of here.
Be a great bet.
Anyways, DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR. You can also bet 1 to win 100 on any NFL market this weekend, as long as 1 point is scored in the game. I've already put down $1 million of my own dollars, guaranteeing that there will be no 0-0 ties this weekend.
Right.
And you can take that to the bank. You can also use that code DNVR to get that sign-up bonus up to $1,000. Of course, you must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. The deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough, and restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, Trey. Should we SGP it up?
Hell of a read on that one, my friend. Yeah, let's do it. I want to see Pepe to score USA or tie plus 225 SGP. Boom.
What's exact score 2-0 US?
Yeah, let's see that.
Dude, just so you know, like the US is going to be playing for a draw today. They're going to want to win, but they will play for a draw. They're in second place. They don't have to be better than Mexico. They just have to be better than Canada and Panama to get to the qualifiers. They do not care. They just want a point out of this. Mexico is playing for more pride, so they're going to want to win because they've lost all the games this year against the U.S. So they have a little bit more to prove, but the U.S. does not care as much. They're going to play for a draw. They just want a point. That's all they care about.
Yeah, but then you get that 1-0 lead, and then they get a little desperate. They open up on the back end.
Dude, Greg Berhalter would not do that. Trust me. Greg is going to park the bus and try to stay there and try to get that point at least. He will not open up.
For what it's worth, I trust your soccer analysis 100%. There we go. Sean G in the comments says 2-0 USA is plus 950.
There we go.
I feel like if you just bet that every single time, it's going to hit 1 out of every 9 times.
I get it at plus 1,200.
Oh, you only have to hit it once out of every 12. I feel like it happens once out of every 3.
Right, it happens often enough. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go SGP mode. Flip that thing. Nuggets, Hawks tonight. Let's see. We go Jokic points. So how many points are you comfortable with from Jokic?
I mean, he's averaging 25. God, he totally just entered like Shaq mode that last game.
Dude, he is so unbelievable.
It's incredible.
He's also like running the floor and getting transition dunks.
No, he's legit. He's like that last game. That might be the best basketball player I've ever watched. I watch a decent amount, and I've been watching for a minute now. Yeah, to some extent, like his greatness knows no bounds, right, Ryan?
I'm trying to say this.
I know. I don't know, maybe Safeman's 23.5, and then we can get a little more aggressive on the assists now that he has a newfound trust in his teammates.
I'm not seeing 23.5 as an option. I only see 15 plus, 20 plus. Am I in the wrong?
No, there are two
Oh,
options.
I got
One
yeah.
is
Why are
the
there
and
two
a
options?
halves, and then there's also 20 plus, 25 plus, 30 plus, 35 plus, 15 plus.
Okay, I like 23.5. I feel comfortable with that number.
Oh, good.
I feel like even when he has an off night, he still like has a shot for 24 at
100%.
some given time. Okay, assists. Nikola Jokic assists. I am willing to put this at 5.5.
Yes, I too landed on 5.5 as the number. Man, I'm not
I
seeing
could be
Bones
talked into
props in
going
here yet.
higher on that too. Gonna be honest.
Do they blow out the Hawks?
No,
Is this
I
a
don't think
close
so.
one?
I'm telling you, Trae Young doesn't have to draw fouls to dribble past our guards.
They're not playing Facu out there, Ryan. Facu ain't walking through that door.
Thank God. I
This
love
isn't going to
Facu
be
so
that
much.
Facu easy, you know. So yeah, no,
Nice.
I beyond belief. We could not love Facu more. It also devastates our souls to watch him play inefficient basketball.
I want to love him so much.
Oh, we love him already.
He does so many things to make you love him, and so many more to betray that love.
So true. He's like a rascally child. It's like, God, you're so cute and such a cute, sweet kid, but boy, you're a real rascal sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, rebounds. What's your comfortability number here? 11.5?
Yeah, I mean, with Swiss Clint out there, I think we gotta I think he won't know what hit him. He's also rail thin, so you know.
All right,
Everyone
and
in the threes.
The new cheat code, like I said, developing into one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. Not even a joke.
Oh my God.
1+ block brings it up to plus 450.
Okay, where is that?
Other player props.
I've never had to venture on anything other than assist and rebounds. You, once again, congratulations, viewer. You are witnessing a moment in show history.
You know what's so crazy about this? If Jokic goes 24, 12, and 6, it's no one's even talking about it. Like, of course we are. We're saying like, yeah, that was an amazing game from Jokic. But he doesn't even have to have a particularly spectacular game for you to hit a plus 450 parlay.
I know. That's incredible. Okay, so 1+, right? Blocks. Yep. And it's plus 575.
Okay, this always happens, Trey. What did you go heavier on?
23.5. Oh, 6.5 assists. You talked to me. You said I could go to 6.5.
Do you want? Should I? Okay, all right.
Yeah, go to 6.5. Then 11.5 and 1+ block. Yeah.
Let me get this 6.5 in. 6.5 assists. There it is. Plus 575.
Oh yeah.
What a thing of beauty. A lot of people in the comments talking about Will Barton. They want Will Barton in there. Yes. I just, I support you guys doing that. But there's only one player I know brings it on every single night. That's the thing. It's not about how much I love Will. I love Will. It's not about how much I trust Bones. I do trust Bones. There's only one person in the world who brings it every single night. It's Jokic.
Yeah, and as an actual like god among men.
No Jokic threes. No, not necessary.
I would agree though. Barton 18.5 plus. I don't think that's bad value, Ryan. I don't think that's bad.
That's what he was the other night with no Jokic out there.
No, I'm saying you do that in the SGP. I'd have the choice of going much lower.
Okay.
But if you're going with a Willie B. Buckets bet, you're not going to go with a Safeman's Willie B. Buckets bet. You're going with an aggressive Willie B. You need to embrace thrills, lifestyle, and the aura he transmits. You can't act like an insurance agent on your Willie B. Buckets bet. You got to act like Will Barton when you put that bet in.
Willie B. Buckets, the middle B also stands for buckets.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. And of note, Bones not approved for the SGP today.
The legislators got us.
I don't think this one. I don't think is the legislators. I think it's
Fucking
the old
legislators.
sample size. We need more of a sample size, Ryan, and that's what it's coming down.
Well, you can get in on his props. You still can get his points at over 7.5.
It's phenomenal. I love the assist set at 2.5. That feels like a shot on goal bet. And I don't think he can be denied by Eminem anymore. I think Eminem is riding that Bones train. He might throw down a few bones on a few bones props himself. And honestly, if you're going against Trae Young, what's the best counter you have on your roster to Trae Young? Bones.
Bones and all that length.
Bones. Yeah.
Bones is out here blocking shots and shit. I love him.
Yeah.
So I support single bets of Barton threes, Bones points. I like Bones assists, although
there you go.
He does like to chuck when he's out there, and he knows his minutes are being restricted.
Boy, that contested layup at the end of the game, that was something else.
Yeah, it sure was.
I reverted to my anti-thrill personality traits for just a split second in that moment. Yeah,
I want put Bones in the starting 5. Let's go. Stop messing around.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Bones and Jokic together, unstoppable. All right. That is going to wrap it up for us this week. We didn't get into a lot of football stuff, so you'll just have to tune into the tailgate on Sunday. We'll talk all sorts of football bets then. And then, speaking of tailgates, come down, hang out with us at the DNVR Mile High Tailgate over there.
Selling like hotcakes, Ryan.
It is. I told people, streets have been saying this could be the tailgate of the year, and the numbers are backing up what the streets believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 1 week where we can't say go Birds either, so it's going to be a good one, Ryan.
Yep. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in all week.